Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Trading Floor with your humble host, Angie Barbosa and Jeremy Alexander Newton, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. How you guys doing? What a Thursday! Oh my goodness! What is going on? August the 20th. Dang, mark this day down. This is a big deal. So I got a poll open for you guys to see what you guys think about the general markets. I will close that poll once you get a chance to read it. The question is, what are your thoughts on the general market, aka the indices? And it goes, this is just a healthy 10% correct. They will bounce. This is just the beginning of a right shoulder. The market will go lower. Honestly, I'm mostly in cash, just trading individual equities. And then no idea. I just do whatever Angie tells me to do. So it looks like here's the current voting. So I'll close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the voting, I'll share the results with you guys. So here's the results of the poll. So 33% feel this is a 10% correction, and 11% say I just do whatever Angie tells me to do. So that makes sense to me. That's how I do my best to stay out of trouble. What would Angie do? And I just do that. It's usually the way it works. See, so this is just a healthy 10% correction. I think so. So let me pull open the markets. I'm going to look at a few things. I'll give my best to analyze what I think is going on here once I can get the desktop pulled up, and then we'll hop over to it. There's definitely lots to talk about on the indices, I think, at least a little bit. Tomorrow, I'll be officially announcing to the world. What do you guys think? What will I officially be announcing to the world tomorrow? I am, as of right now, flipping, but the announcement will come out tomorrow, but I'll say it for the first time recorded right now. I am now no longer bullish to neutral. I know, it's been years in the making, but I am now just neutral. Just neutral. I've been bullish for, I don't know, probably, I think till right about here somewhere, and then we started being bullish to neutral. And then as of now, I'm neutral on the overall markets. So first and foremost, let's talk about this guy. Because this guy is a little bit in trouble. 170, 169. Bull put spread September week 1. 12-cent limit. So today's candle has a gap. Today's candle has volume. Today's candle has closed below a support. This is, I think, short-term bearish on the DIA. We definitely are short-term bearish, meaning we're going to go lower at some point. I'm not going to unravel this spread. I'm going to be exiting this one. So let me do this. 8, 20, 15. I am going to exit and not unravel. Because there's a lot of support down there. And again, I'm actually on board, even though I'm neutral. I am now officially in the corner, which truthfully, this probably will mean that a bounce will happen. And I won't be fully expecting it, but that's okay. When I'm in the neutral corner, if you will, we have mentioned this exact scenario really since back here, back in June, that we could break this low, right? We come back down, we trade down here, everyone flips out about bearishness, everyone gets bearishness, and then we bounce. Type in a 1 if you remember that. For the last few months, we've been talking about that. That's on numerous recordings, numerous videos. It's exactly what we've been talking. Is a good chance that happens. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Where is it going to happen, though, is the key point. That's what I want to focus on. And so that's why I'm not going to unravel this. I'm just going to exit. My little, I guess, line in the sand, or whatever you want to call it, is this guy right here. The 100 simple moving average, which we haven't officially bounced off of yet. I think we might bounce off of it tomorrow. I am not going to lose my entire dollar on this spread. I'll do the best I can possible to mitigate that. But we're coming into the 100. There's a good chance we could just trade right down to this level and bounce. Will we? How will we know? What will it look like? All of those questions, I would simply say if you want to risk an R or a small R and play the bounce off of this, it doesn't have to be super aggressive. You could say your stop could be here, and that could be your risk unit, and all of this could be your potential reward. So go with that. Understand that that's kind of the area that I'm looking for it to bounce, which is, I grant you, 28 cents inside of our spread that we have 2 weeks left to expiration. But the DIA is approaching the 100 simple moving average on the weekly, and we haven't actually hit that since October 2011, in which case we did bounce off of it. We got very close here, we got very close here, we got very close here, and so we're coming into that place. When will I go bearish? It's going to be a few weeks. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to really have to see what the Standard Rally does before I just say, all right, guys, you know what? This is a bearish market. That'll be a big deal for me. Trust me. When that happens, start telling the world, because that's going to be a big deal. All right? There's a lot of other traders out there that are always bearish, always have been bearish since pretty much back in here. And that's fine. You know, that's cool. But I'd rather be wrong once about not catching all the bearish move than be wrong 9 times missing out on all the bullish moves. So let's just say hypothetically this happens and I miss all of that. Will we retest? Yes or no? We will. All markets do. We'll trade up and I'll catch the rollover. That's what we'll do. So I'm not really worried about missing the very, very, very beginning move of the bearish market if it happens. Let's just keep that in mind. But as of right now, the Dow has gone from 182 to about 170. It's about, what is that, 12 points on an $18 stock, give or take. It's approximately not quite 10%, but almost. So this is an actual healthy correction, in my opinion. Volume is not insanely great on the weekly chart. We're probably going to get some volume tomorrow. So we'll see. But all I'm saying is I'm okay with missing out on a little bit of bearish potential if it does happen. But this is what I'm going to need to see for this to go bearish. I'm going to need to see it close below the 100 simple on a weekly. I'm going to need to see a retest of this neckline. And then I'm going to need to see a failure. That's really what I need to see. And when I say a close, again, notice back here, this is when I will be bullish. This is a weekly chart. So if we close, let's say we close below the 100 simple tomorrow, everyone's going to flip out. Okay? Everyone's going to be crazy bearish. Trust me. If on Monday we gap up, if that's what's happened, I'm going to call that the bounce. Write it down. That's going to be my, okay, when's the bounce going to occur? That would be it. If we close below, right, finally get that right at that 10% sell-off from really the top, and then we gap up on Monday, I'll call that a bounce. Now, will that bounce be a shoulder, or will that bounce be a move? That's the part I'm not going to know. That's when I'm going to start scaling out up here, right here, moving some stops nice and tight, and we'll find out what happens. Type in a 6 if that makes sense to you. So that's what I'm going to go for. That's what I'm going to see. If we break through the 100 simple and we just really start just heading down lower, that's fine. I'm going to miss most of that move. I'm just telling you guys now, I'm going to miss it. Okay? I will wait for the retracement, and then we'll watch very closely when those things start to happen. But right there, that is, and again, if that happens, that's what I'm going to switch to. Okay, guys, I'm not neutral anymore. I'm bearish. Please know and understand that I can be bearish. I can be bearish, right? I don't have a problem with that. I can trade bearish, but really for up until probably here or maybe a little bit lower, I'll still be saying at some point I'm expecting a bounce on these levels. I do not think that this is the absolute top of the market, but we'll see. We will see. That's my thoughts on the DIA. So what are we going to do about this guy? Well, this guy, bottom line, I'm holding strong. I'm going to hold and see what that 100 simple moving average does. I'm not going to unravel tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. If anything, if I'm wrong on this trade, I'm just going to exit probably for a loss. We're going to have to see what this 100 simple moving average does. I expect a little bit of a bearish high wave candle tomorrow on most of the markets. And again, on Monday and or Tuesday, preferably Monday. If we gap up on Monday and we close below the 100 simple tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bullish. And then I'll just watch to see if I need to exit this at all. Because again, I put this bull put spread down here for a reason. I think we do bounce. It would make sense to me. We definitely do not have to, but that's just kind of the way I'm counting it. Let's do a really quick fib. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Just do, I don't know if this fib's going to help at all. I'm going to do this one. All right, so we got 61.8% retracement of this wave right at the 100 simple moving average. If you choose a different wave right about there, you're also right close to the 61.8. So bottom line, folks, this is healthy. I'm not afraid. I don't know if the bounce will come, but if it does, I'll be slightly bullish. Short term, but I'm still neutral. Okay, keep that in mind. I don't have a problem buying some things here, but I'm just going to be neutral. I'm going to stop saying the market could make some higher highs, because if this happens, I will go into the camp that we could do this. I will go into the camp that we could do this, and I will go into the camp that we could do this, and just stay up here for a much longer time. That's my thoughts on the DIA. Let's hop over to the SPY, the Standard & Poor's S&P 500. Now, this is interesting. So we got a candle today, don't we? This wick is not actually here. I don't know why it's there, but it's really not there at the moment. So we got this condor for September. We have this condor for tomorrow, which should be okay. The 201, 200, 214, 215, or 215, 216. That should be fine for tomorrow. This is the one that's going to be pretty close, is the 204, 203. Now, this market has been terrible on breakouts. Just absolutely horrible. The DIA today closed below some support. I think we retest. The SPY closed below some support. I think we retest tomorrow. I think, if I had to give an opinion and a guess, which is exactly what I'm about to do, I think we gap up a little bit tomorrow on the SPY, gap up and get like a high wave candle, and we don't really do much on the day. That's what I think. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I'm going into. If we gap down tomorrow, I'm going to wait for a little bit of a retest before I exit. I am not going to unravel the condor. I will be exiting the bull put spread. I'm not going to unravel. I'm going to exit. Now, here is, I got some trades in this one. And then, Timmy, I'm going to look at your chart in just 1 second. I am not going to unravel, but exit. And the good news is it expires tomorrow, guys. You're not going to get hosed as bad as you think it will, unless we gap down like to down here. Then we'll be in trouble. So we're gonna see. Karen says, I think we gap up and trade up all day. Giant white candle that tears the bears to shreds. Definitely a strong possibility. I could also say, Karen, if we gap down tomorrow, there's a good possibility that happens as well. Because there's gonna be a lot of bears on this candle, and this is gonna be the candle that all the bears have been hoping for. I agree. Bearish volume is here. Tomorrow is going to be some massive volume. It's going to be interesting to see. But there's been a lot of candles that look like this, and I think we gap up tomorrow. I just do. I think there's going to be a little bit of buying tomorrow. We're going to see. I'll create a plan, regardless. It's going to be a fun time tomorrow, that is for sure. I'll be calling the market open. I'll be seeing what it is, but don't lose sleep over tonight, guys. If you need help sleeping, take some melatonin. That's what I do. Here's Timmy's line in the sand, and he's got that trend line. This is on the Russell 2000, which again is right at that 100 simple moving average on a weekly chart. So that's the SPY. Tomorrow is going to be expiration Friday, so there's going to be a lot of volume, a lot of things going on. I'm watching it closely. I'm not going to freak out. I am going into tomorrow with the mindset of, all right, I'm probably going to lose all of this. How can I lose as little of that as possible? That's the mindset that I'm going into tomorrow. Like if I was the defensive coordinator on the Baltimore Ravens, I would say, all right, we're going to lose this game. I'm going in thinking we're going to lose this game, but I'm playing defense as best as possible to allow the Patriots to score as little points as possible. I'm going to start using a lot of football references, guys and girls. Football season's here. But anyway, that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
You know how much I love that, right?
Yeah, I know, Angie. You do love it. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't have to win. I just have to beat the spread. So bottom line is if we gap up tomorrow, a little bit, I'll be watching it all day. Now, here's the unfortunate news, and I know I'm going a little bit long on the SPY, but that's okay. The thing is, I mentioned this numerous times today. I just simply did not get the opportunity to make it an official exit entry. I was going to say, if we move below here today, we got that giant high wave candle in the hourly. I was going to say, just go ahead and exit the spread. I just didn't put that on GroupMe, nor did I put that on the chart. I thought it, and then I got a phone call, and something else came up, and I just totally forgot to do that. For you guys, right? I totally forgot to do that for you. So I trade all my trades like you guys are trading your trades. Even if I'm not even in a trade or if I'm out of a trade, I trade it like I'm still there. So in the SPY, I'm feeling this with you guys just like you're feeling it. So we're going to watch what the SPY does, and we're going to see. Brad says, we just need to have a plan for the probable movements and follow the plan based on where the market opens and moves. That's exactly it. Karen said, but Jeremy had 3,000 million in that trade. 3,000 million! Well, let's hope for that gap up tomorrow, Karen. She had a winky face. She's joking, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna watch it. We are going to watch that very, very close, very close. So there it is, the Qs. Luis Marquez went bearish yesterday. Don't know how, but he's better than I am. That's all day, every day. Beautiful little pattern. Me and Doug Baker and a few others wanted this to break bullish. We had an evening star reversal pattern yesterday. Broke bearish on that level today. Pretty strong volume. We're at the 200 simple. From here, we're at the 200. So probably a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a lower wick, probably a positive day tomorrow. And then maybe a rollover on the Qs. And here it is, IWM. As I mentioned, if the IWM closed below 118.49, this is my official sentiment change to just being neutral. I am baffled that we closed below this support right here. It's really fascinating to me. There's definitely some stuff going out there that's changing. Angie, I want to award Timmy one frequent trader point because he did entitle that the Kiss of Death. Right there. He gave that a good name. I think it was an awesome name. I think he deserves that one frequent trader point. Karen, we're going to have to see. We're going to see. We got the 115, 114 expiring tomorrow that Stan is in. Will that expire worthless? We're going to find out. It is coming down to the wire. There are a lot of spreads coming. Tomorrow! It's going to be exciting. I'm going to have to take like 28 grams of melatonin to sleep tonight. I hope you guys know that. So if you email me or text me past like 10 p.m., I'm not going to be awake.
I'm going to blow up your texts.
Yeah, if you text me, I'm not going to reply. I'm going to be done. Because there's so many things.
Stock? Can we buy stock in melatonin?
It's going to go up tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's going to go up. Because there's so much going on tomorrow. So many spreads that are either close or in trouble or whatever. We're going to look through them all tomorrow. So be there tomorrow morning is all I'm saying, folks. Don't miss the open of this market. We're going to call it. It's going to be great. All right, so there's the IWM. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, the IWM is often known or called the leading index. And if we're looking at just purely what this looks like, this looks bearish to me. Looks slightly bearish. I'm totally honest with you. It looks a little bearish. So, again, the 100 simple moving average on the weekly is kind of going to be our guy. Here's the 100 simple. Right about there. We're right on it pretty much right now. We've closed below it barely before and gapped up. That's where we're at again. I think that's what happens. And if we begin to roll over, on the IWM specifically, I can be bearish. So we'll find out. So there it is. There's the IWMs. Questions, concerns, thoughts, or opposing views on the market. Karen, so remember back when May when the transports diverted from the industrial? Mm-hmm. I do. Yeah, so there's some fun things shaping up. I agree. I totally agree. I do need to go ahead and tell Angie. I want to tell you guys. Same thing I told everyone in the morning room earlier today. If the market does get bearish, and let's just say this happens, okay? Let's just go with the theory that this occurs. Real life trading is going to get very busy. You guys are going to see a lot of new people, so Angie, be ready for that. We're going to get traders from all over the world joining. Make sure to tell as many people as possible if that happens, guys, because yes, we're going to all get rich together. That will happen. Number one. Number two, I want to protect and educate as many people as we can out there, okay? That's my goal. I want to educate as many people as possible, either day trading, swing trading, or just simply how to protect themselves. So if that starts happening, do us all a favor and just tell as many people as possible, hey guys, even if you just do this for 3 months, learn a little bit about this. Otherwise, there's a good chance you're just going to get taken to the woodshed. Learn how to protect yourself. Just go at it that way, because that's what I want. I want people to be protected. I don't want people to be worried if the market does get a little bit of a correction. Because I'm on board that a correction's plausible. I think if I'm doing a wave count, this is a 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, okay, and then we bounce. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that, in fact. If this turns into an A, B, C, and we don't bounce and we begin to roll over again, that's when people are going to get really worried. So, Tina said, my daughter asked about her 401k. Yep. A lot of people are going to start asking about the 401ks. A lot of them. Okay, there's the IWM. We got the Dow. We got the S&P. We got the Qs. General market. I know it took a little bit longer, but today was a big day, and I want to make sure I got that all covered. Let's go flying, shall we? First and foremost, we'll look at Tesla. Tesla, we had a spread in trouble at one point. I still have this spread open, and I think Stan did unravel. Let me see if Stan's here today. Stan. No, I don't think he's here right now. So my plan that I posted on this iron condor on Tesla was I'm not going to really worry about it unless it closes above 260. Wherever it is. Okay, so 260. So here was my analysis. I said, if Tesla pulls back a tad to the 10 EMA on the hourly today or tomorrow, I'll likely unravel the September bear call spread and probably turn it into a debit spread selling the 280 to the 285. So that was on the 18th. So going into this trade, saying to myself, okay, this market has just been a terrible breakout market. It's closing above resistance. It's filled the gap. That's what I was looking at, and that came into the hourly. Here's the hourly at the time. And here's what it looked like. So it did pull back to the 10. Got a pretty big hammer candle. And I was like, all right, this looks good. It's pulling back to the 10. If we move above this level, I'm going to go ahead and unravel. Stock came down. Big hammer candle, big black candle. Then down here, I was like, okay, well, maybe we form a Morningstar reversal. This candle right here was the Fed meeting. That was the Fed on Wednesday. So I didn't really worry about that. Once that occurred, I was like, okay, if we start breaking this high, then I'll unravel, and then we just started rolling over. So I did not unravel personally on Tesla, at least yet. So for those of you who may or may not have if you did unravel, I don't think it's a terrible thing because you did get into a debit spread and it offset the cost a lot, and we were really far away from the spread. So the buying back definitely didn't damage you that badly. I think Allen's in the spread. There's a few others in the spread, and right now it's just smack dab in the middle of the condor. So the good news is it's back near the 100 simple, and it's done this. It could easily bounce. So if you did unravel, you have plenty of time. I mean, September is a pretty long time away for it to bounce. Otherwise, if you are in, let's say, a 275, 285 bull call spread, which is a debit spread, you could also consider selling shorter term bear call spreads either here, or you could sell some bear call spreads in between there to offset the cost just a little bit. So again, just something to keep in mind is above that resistance, above that 260, you can just kind of begin to sell shorter term bear call spreads to offset it, because this is a bullish gap, traded back up to resistance, came back down, and basically today was the day that I was like, I did not expect that to happen. I thought we were going to bounce, and we just didn't. So, I mean, we had September, long time to expiration for something to happen. So we have a pretty wide range. So we're right here, and then we're down here. So we got a pretty wide spread on that Condor and Tesla. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really know what else to say on Tesla other than that. That's kind of my plan. That's my thought, and that's what I got. Give me 1 second. Let me open up an account. Just a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions about Tesla? All right. I might block some of these numbers out in the recording. Okay. But here it is. There's the Condor. This is not a virtual account. So anyway, I'm just letting you know that. So I'm still in it on Tesla right now. It's just kind of breaking even. 81 messages, dang. So again, not virtual. But yeah, this particular account, unfortunately, this Option Express account that I have, I'm going to be probably liquidating it pretty soon. There's a bill or two that I have to pay pretty soon. Taxes that apparently. I got one paid, and I'm going to have to pay one more. And I don't think apparently it can't be postponed that long. Or it can't be postponed much longer. So, anyway. But just letting you know, that's the Tesla Condor, still in it. We're going to see what happens. Tesla, done. FedEx, UPS, ticker symbol FDX. Nice little gap down. FedEx, ladies and gentlemen, what is it? FedEx is an amazing support. Watch the hourly for a bounce. Okay, this is big. This is big. So the hourly did bounce a little bit, right? I agree. And today you might have gotten triggered out, stopped out, trailed out, whatever you want to call it, if you did go in bullish. I'm looking at FedEx right now, and that's kind of bearish, guys, on FedEx. That's not the most bullish signal in the world. We're going to have to do a swing trade on this. All right, stop 164.79. I did not have an official trade, but we can now. This is a swing trade. Let me go into the hourly, because again, we're just going to see if this will pull back. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul, but I think it will, at least a little bit. Let's see if it pulls back to 161.48. Format, limit, sell. So we're trying to get that on the pullback. The 100 looks really close. Yeah, that's what I'm about to find out really quick. And again, that's where a lot of things are going to trade to. So at 154.70. So we're going to have about right at a 1 to 2, 1.5 risk reward ratio. I'm going to put it at 155. That's official for me. If we're looking at the daily chart, this is a almost or a very, very weird falling 3 pattern. 8/20/15 update. FedEx did not bounce at support. If it retests tomorrow or the next day, one could be bearish. This is a large distribution phase breakout. A retest will occur on a small and bigger time frame. If the 100 SMA, which is the target, fails, this is a gigantic bearish potential. Don't know what that means. I think that's grammatically incorrect, but I'll leave it. I'll change it. This has gigantic bearish potential. There we go. That is official. Will it trigger? Will it pull back tomorrow? I don't know. Probably. Maybe a little bit. Okay, FedEx breaking support. FedEx real life trading. There we go. We're going to put down our swing trade list. By the way, swing trade list, there's a lot to update on at the moment. Just FYI, if you guys get a chance. I'm going to give you guys the spreadsheet. Again, here's the spreadsheet just in case anyone out there doesn't have it. There it is. Make sure you have, there's a lot of updates today on the spreadsheet. A lot of targets getting hit, a lot of stops getting hit. So pretty much some of the bullish trades, stops getting hit, and the bearish trades, targets getting hit. It was kind of weird, but that's the way it worked. 161.39, 164.62. 2R target is 154.93. So that's great. I'm calling that a gap and go. I'm calling that great and open. There we go. FedEx, going to get interesting. Perfect. Let's hop over here to UPS, since we're kind of talking similarities. And UPS doesn't have too much going on at the moment. This is at a pretty nice resistance, and we kind of have like a little bit of a double top thing going on. I could be up here, definitely more bearish than bullish. My thought would be if there's a bear call spread like a 107 or something, we could consider that for sure. If you want to be a little bit more bearish than bullish, it's fine. I love the terms. I love the terms they use. Okay, UPS. This would be September. All right. Options. Come over here. September. We got the 110, 115. So let me do September week 2. 107, 115, 106, 107 on UPS. There is some money in a 106, 107. Not tons though. So you'd be looking at about 20 cents. And then you'd be looking at, 15 cents. Maybe you could get a 10-cent spread out of that. I'll pretty much just write it in if you want to do it. 8, 20, 15, 106, 107, September week 2, bear call spread, 10-cent limit. Not sure if it will fill. I won't even look at this spread unless UPS closes above 105.09. There we go. I can get rid of that. I don't really have a specific trade setup other than that, other than simply saying this kind of looks double topish. It looks like some kind of channel. And it's back up to resistance. So if you're selling high, buying low on United Parcel Service, it makes sense to me, and I can see exactly why you'll be doing that. So that's what I got. Tesla, FedEx, UPS, done. Southwest Airlines, ticker symbol LUV. Southwest Airlines, a little bit of a pullback today. Got a new Black Crow candle, and we did trade right up to this gap. That's an issue that I knew we would have. Right at that gap, also very similarly related to the 200 simple moving average. So I don't know how far we're going to trade down based on that level. We could just really come back down to here, trade into here, trade sideways a little bit, and bounce higher. That's a possibility, especially if the market bounced strongly. There's a good chance that could happen. bottom line is, if you're in that trade, that's a 1R risk. Stop is good, and ultimate target is 42.75. So again, not even sure if that'll happen, but this gap right there, the 200 simple moving average, definitely a strong little target that Southwest did hit. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Delta Airlines, 8.13.15. Ufredo was in bullish. I don't know what his target was. I'm assuming he might have hit it, depending on what, where it was. I don't really know. But regardless, Ufredo, if you got in, good job. Or I'm sorry, if you got out at some of that resistance up there on Delta, good job. Getting a little bit of a pullback. Damian Grant's in a 43.42 September bull put spread, so he's got some room on that to go. It's pretty far away. Here's the weekly charts on Delta and the 100 simple moving average. I'm not saying that we have to get down there, but I definitely will say that Delta has had a very interesting resistance, and I would not be surprised if we do have a little bit of a pullback, maybe make its way down to 42.30, maybe as far as 38, 39, and then bounce a little bit more and get into some type of weird channel-looking thing. That's Delta. No real trade setup on Delta at the moment. Here is American Airlines. Here's a daily chart, and we traded right up to the 100. Boom! And hit it. Spot on. Got to give a giant shout out to Ford Schwartz on that one. He was looking at this. He's in some shares and some collars on American Airlines, and it just traded right up to the 100 simple moving average and just got punched right in the face. Boof! Boof! That's really about it. So I'm neutral on American Airlines. I mean, you got this channel looking thing. Could this be a slight rollover down to that support again? Yes. Yes, it could. This is probably one of the few iron condors in August that I'm not really stressed out about. 35, 34, 47, 46 should expire just fine tomorrow. You could also consider, as I mentioned earlier, the 47.48 September bear call spread for 15-cent limit. That was still on the board for a while as well. So that's kind of up here in this level, which again should be okay. But I love how he interacted with the 100 on American Airlines. I'm not bullish on it specifically. Probably a little bit more bearish to neutral. I don't think I'm really going to get bullish on American Airlines unless we break out of this, retest, and then bounce. That's probably when I'll get bullish. So I'm still just kind of like slightly bearish to neutral. So if you haven't gotten into the September bear call spread up here, I think you could. You may notice that I'll start getting into a few more bear call spreads than bull put spreads. And I don't think that's going to be a big shocker. There are some stocks out there that look a little bit more bearish than bullish. So there's American Airlines. And let's see if there's any other airlines out there. So we got those. Boeing. Let's go check out Boeing. Boeing, here's the great news, is this particular, I guess I didn't write it down. This is for Chris Wenzel. Anyway, Chris wanted to get into a 140, 139, 146, 147 Iron Condor yesterday. And he said based on yesterday's candle and yesterday's gap, he decided not to get into the bull put spread, at least to my knowledge. So Chris, if you're getting a chance to watch the recording and didn't get in that, man, hopefully you're celebrating a little bit. My thought on Boeing is this is a pretty interesting little triangle looking pattern. It did break out. 135.74 is a very, very strong resistance. And we do have another condor on Boeing. And again, the bull put spread is the one that might get in trouble. Now, that's a September week 1, so we got 2 weeks left realistically. So unless Boeing closes below 135.74, I'm not really going to stress about it. Because again, I said, hey, if you're in this condor, set the alert at 148 or 138 and walk away. Well, 138 got hit today. So, a lot of stuff going on. Updated on 8/20/15. Okay. We hit the 138. If Boeing closes, I'll say if Boeing gets a white candle, then a black candle that closes below 135.74, I likely will unravel if there is 1 week and more time left. Otherwise, I'll exit and consider buying other puts. Karen said, Boeing, go to my watch list. That's a stock I like to add to the core portfolio. All right. Karen says, what do you think about selling the 124 September puts? I'd try to go a little bit lower and a little bit farther away. Really, really good support resistance right here. Really, really good support resistance right there. See if you can do 120 for October. If there's any premium down there. Give it a little bit of time. Definitely pulling back some. And let's go look at the weekly charts. So I'm going to start looking at the 100 simples on the weekly, guys. I very rarely do these, but the market's been trading sideways for so long. That looks like death warmed over. Oh my goodness. That's good to know. 100 SMA on weekly is 134.26, which is right in the middle of that spread. Wow. So look at this, Karen. Well, imagine we do a little bit of this. Man, guys, I'm telling you, this might get fun. This might get fun. I don't know if it's going to, but if this stuff starts to break down, if these 100s break down, I'm not saying they will, but if they do, hey, I'm a perma bull. That's fine. I might have been. I could have been wrong about the market going higher. And here's the weird thing: is I'll admit it if it does happen, but we're gonna make some money on the way down. I'm gonna be paying off some bills. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, be there or be uncircular. You got it. So that's Boeing. That's So bottom line, folks, start looking at the 100 simple on the weekly on a lot of stocks because that's what we're pulling into. Today, great candle. I think we go lower on some stocks, and that's why I think if we get that gap up or we get some interesting gaps, we might be trapping some peeps out there in the world. Let's go look at BWA. So I'm adding a W to Boeing, and I'm coming up with this stock, BorgWarner. 8.13.15. I am bearish. Strong support has been broken. Wait for the retest and rollover off the 20 EMA. So that was 8.13. There's a little bit ago. So like again, support has been broken. Here's the exponential moving averages. Took off that white took off the support of that white candle, and we're going lower. It's a nice little bearish trend. Here's the support level, and I still think that I apologize about not putting in the time frame. So let me put on the daily. So if you missed it, the one I was talking about was the hourly. But if you get this daily here, wait for the retest on the daily. So at the next time that ticker symbol BWA fails the 20 EMA on the daily, short it, or at least be a little bit bearish. That's breaking some really, really solid support. And it has retested a little bit, something like this. So if we start doing something like that, let's go. Karen said it stopped twice. What's holding it up? Yeah, I don't know. Oh my gosh, look at the weekly chart. Yeah, we gotta wait for a Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. That's what's holding it up. Look at the weekly chart, Karen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black candles in a row. Wow. On a weekly. That's a strong trend, folks. Wait for the pullback. Short it. Short the pullback. Next target at some point, 41.07. Yeah, wait for the short. We're gonna have fun on BWA. Something like this occurs. You know, so on the 20 on the daily or maybe even the 50 on the daily on a retest, oh, give me a break. It's going to be easy. CSX, trading down to some support. Again, nice little bearish edge. This is the weekly chart. Here's the daily. And it failed, made a little bit of a lower low today. So it's going to be coming into a major support on CSX, in which it could bounce. Right, this could be a level where CSX begins to bounce on, but again, if not, if it starts breaking down, CSX could be a little bit bearish as well. If I hop back over to the weekly chart, turn the moving averages off. So let me clear this out the way. You guys can see this long-term trend on CSX. So if I do a quick fib, if I did a Fibonacci, and did something like this. Here we go. Again, you'll see that this general area is a pretty decent place where it could bounce. So we trade down to here. We'll get kind of extended. We could trade sideways for a while. We could do some of this. So I'm just simply saying this is the market where we'll start potentially bouncing. But if you want to come up with a plan of being a little less aggressive and maybe risking a half of an R on some of these bounces and, you know, just testing the waters at first and then maybe adding a full R of risk if it retests or get a double bottom or something like that. But CSX, I mean, so there's one opportunity. Here's opportunity number 2. Not really sure which one's going to happen. I don't think CSX will be the most invigorating stock to trade bearish. But keep in mind, notice how many times it's broken. Last time it broke was this distribution phase right there. Had a retrace, traded sideways for eternity, and then bounced. Distribution phase, public participation, could trade sideways for eternity, and then bounce. Not a very exciting stock, CSX, but that's kind of what could do with it. That's what could happen. Tina asked about Skechers. Let me look at Skechers. Yep, I'll look at Skechers. O'Reilly, ticker symbol ORLY. O'Reilly, here's the weekly chart, and it might not be able to reach this target. Might not quite reach it. Karen said, what is CSX? What do they do? They're a choo-choo train company. So we're not, we haven't gotten quite to 261. This is a one black crow on O'Reilly. And this would be a counter trend trade. Meaning the trade is going bullish. We'd have to be in and out pretty quickly. Not a bad one, though. Not a horrific counter trend trade. If you're looking to trade O'Reilly, it's a little bit of an expensive stock with some kind of horrific option, open interest and volume. So I'd simply say if you want to play it, you could get really aggressive and look something like that. For a quick pullback to the daily moving average. I'm not taking that personally because the stock is like, you know, 600,000 shares and some change. The volume is all right. You know, we'll see. Karen says, I still say O'Reilly is worth a couple of long-term lottery ticket puts. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not going to say no. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Just Karen wants to buy some lottos. I wonder how many traders play the lottery. That would be an interesting experiment. I mean, you're going to put some money out there for the lotto. Looking about $1,200 a ticket. You know, so you're dropping, and you're going to be the open interest on O'Reilly. This is going out till February. This is about as far as they go, February 2016. So, anyway. Karen said she would buy the 200s. All right. 200s. What is this? 200. There we go. So, 36 open interest. It costs you about, I don't know, might get it for $250 a lottery ticket. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the worst play in the world. I mean, if we're looking at O'Reilly, this is definitely one of those. It's like, yeah, it's got to pull back a little bit probably. Probably pull back a tad. So this entry right here, again, I'm not personally taking it. I'm not going to make it official. It's a very speculative trade. It's a very counter trend. But O'Reilly, if you just put some time on it, you can see it's not the biggest bubble out there, but it is. It might be one of them. Anyway, that'll be a fun one. Karen said if it's less than an R, that's true. Yep. Let me know if you do it. I'll put you up on the board. UNP. So UNP today, of the entire market, the whole market, it finally broke down a little bit and gapped down, had a decent little gap as well, had a nice little pennant pattern, and has closed below 90.87. So I think Lita's in a put. I think she was in puts and did a bear put spread. It traded sideways, again, nice little gap down today. Here's the exponential moving averages. And if we're looking to play UNP, it's finally did a little something, something. I like how the moving averages pulled down, so I'm looking to do this. And let me come into the hourly, and I think I can play UNP. It kind of worked last time. Got out for a little bit of a profit. Let's see if we can play it again on the pullback. Pullback. Let's see where a good pullback would be. Right about there. Potentially. Format, limit, sell. So here's the daily. So this is a retest gap on the daily chart, the hourly charts. Let it retest a little bit. I think I might make that official on, let's give that one some time, maybe Friday or Monday or something. I like it, but UNP has been kind of mean to myself and Martin Reyes back in the day, time or two. So Martin, I'm just looking out for you, man. Let's look at it Monday. See what it's doing Monday afternoon, and we'll consider making that official. I definitely think there's some edge out there coming, and I think if we can play some retests, it's one of those. Just wait for some of the markets to rest, give it a little bit of time, you know, a day or two, and then see if we can get into some bearish action on a few things. They're starting to break down the move. Ticker symbol NAT. Again, Zane, great job, man. We stayed out of this one by just a few pennies. So 15.29 was the kind of the intraday trigger. For me, didn't trigger. So good job being patient. It has retested, it has rested, and likely going to be pulling down to some of those longer terms. So, yeah, decisive reversal. I got it. You're totally correct. So there's the 100. It pulled back to the 100. So this is looking like some kind of either a wave 4 or an A, B, C. But watch how it interacts with this 100. If it breaks through the 100, retests, and rolls over, don't be afraid to play that bearish. Because think about it. If you were looking to go bullish there, so was someone else. And if you would have been trapped, they would have been trapped. Or if you would have been trapped, they are trapped, or vice versa, or whatever. So if it starts breaking that 100, pulling in and rolling over a little bit, you know, don't be afraid to take it bearish, because this is a really, really strong move. And this is kind of a nice move. And it did gap down. That's the reason I wasn't massively bullish. Is it had such a strong bullish move. Came down and then it gapped away. It gapped down. So if we come look at that on the hourly, I mean, that was definitely like a little bit of a trapping gap. Let me turn the long-term moving averages off. Get those out of here. And again, just gap down, really below a nice pivot, and just kind of ran away a little bit. So here's a double top on the hourly, kind of a retest of the double top. Again, continuation. So again, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. We can see what Nordic Tankers does. So it's looking pretty good. Probably a little bit more of a pullback. And this would be a very, very ugly head and shoulders too. But again, if it closes below that neckline, does that, don't be scared. You know, just trade your plan. CDW. CDW. Well, nothing really to talk about, I guess. This could kind of be a bracket trade, but it hasn't triggered. Don't think I'm going to make it official today. Probably leave it alone. And I'll just say if you're tracking CDW and you want that to be a bracket trade, you could. Norfolk Southern. Wee, come on down, get your biscuits. Man, I love me some Norfolk. So back on the 6th of August, look to buy the bounce. Could be a longer term swing in this general area. So I'm still with that, right? I'm still with the market. Could make some lower moves. And I will say if you're going to start legging in or lightly limping into some bullish positions, this is where we could easily begin to form an accumulation phase. If you want to wait for the second bounce, something like this, right? I mean, here's your distribution. Here's your player participation. Here's where the accumulation phase would start to pick up. Somewhere in this general area. And just kind of play it that way. Now, could that break lower and we get into a little bit of a bigger accumulation phase somewhere? Like back down here? Yes, we could. But we likely will trade sideways here for a little bit. Break down to this area. Bounce a little bit, trade back down, and then again, I think that would probably be the end of it. At that point, that'd be about a 50% sell-off from the highs. And if we do slap on this trend line, there we go. Look at that. Look at that little trend line. So cute. So we'll know if that trend line gets broken. You know, the trend is probably a little broken on Norfolk Southern. Skechers will probably be the last thing I look at. Then we'll look at what we're going to look at for tomorrow for Finance Friday. Most of our finance trades got stopped out already. General Motors. General Motors had earnings. Has a pretty decent little evening star reversal pattern. I'm not going to take this trade personally. I don't trade GM or Ford. But that's a beautiful evening star reversal type of pattern. And if we move below 30.70, I would not be bullish specifically. You got some targets down there. I mean, I could move the support line down a little bit. You got a support around 29.07-ish. You know, right around there. That's at least the last place that it paused. And maybe... just maybe it makes it a little bit lower, like 26.49. Again, not going to trade that one personally, but that's how I would look for it to do. If it starts breaking that level, I'd be more bullish than bearish. And Ford, same thing. So 8.13. Ford is between the 100, 200 simple moving average on the weekly. Likely won't do much. It's in a buy low, sell high situation. Simply saying, again, I don't personally trade Ford. If you did get triggered into Ford and we do get stopped out, I'm sorry. I said a weekly chart. Here's the weekly. Yep, it's just stuck in between the weekly. Yeah, I mean, the analysis is the same, the whole buy low, sell high. But if we start getting stopped out on a lot of our bullish trades, guys, we can easily switch to some of the bearish ones. We can start focusing a little bit more on bearish trades and just kind of wait for some of the bulls to take over, right? We just focus on the ones that have a really good gap, focus on ones that are trapping people, focus on ones that have a really solid edge to them and go that way. Skechers, finally, just finally moving down a little bit more. 151.19 was, again, at least my more bearish than bullish trigger. And it did just really very quickly trade to the 20 exponential moving average. Could it be done? Yep, it definitely could be done. That could be it on Skechers. If we trade sideways though, or we gap below some of this support, I still think this is probably one of my favorite bubbles that's out there. And if you're looking to trade some kind of bubble, I think Skechers is probably my top of the list. If I'm thinking bubble, I'm thinking Skechers. Just too far, too fast. This is a nice little double top, a kind of thing. You got some areas in there, and we'll see what that ends up doing. GoPro actually ended up making it to our target. Man, it's lame. Let's just really quick go through some of our swing trades that we are in as of just a few days ago. Twitter. I have a lot of traders making some stupid money on Twitter right now with their put options. So good for you guys. I mean, it doesn't look like a far move, but that's 10% on a $20 stock. That's if you're trading options, that's a pretty healthy move. We'll move the stop down a little bit lower, probably in a day or two. Alibaba, same thing. Alibaba, we're making some pretty ridiculous money, doing well, breaking some lows. Alibaba looks nice. Fitbit triggered today as well, made a little bit of a lower low. So bottom line, guys, some of our bullish trades got stopped out. We mitigated our risk, no big deal. Market's changing definitely a little bit for sure. And going to be interested to see what this market has in store for us. What do you guys want to look at tomorrow? What do you want to check out tomorrow? Tomorrow will be Finance Friday. So every Finance Friday, we look at least Visa, FAS, which we got stopped out on horrendously the other day, which I guess is a good thing. So Visa, that's Virgin Airlines. Visa, FAS, Bank of America, MasterCard, Wells Fargo, HIG, AIG, Aflac, American Express, gold, silver. I don't know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. What else? I guess that's it. Okay. Well, we'll look at a few other things out there. If there's anything else out there to look at, we'll keep a close eye on it. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a wild and rowdy day. Options expiration. Get ready for some action. I don't know how many times I said that today. You guys rock. I love you. I'll talk to you later. And until next time, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. See ya.